Boxing King Media, powered by BYD, Mr. Eddie Hearn, Santa Monica Pier. I've interviewed you all over the world and we've now ticked off Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah, and I'm staying with the glasses. I know it's now dark and there'll be a lot of people saying, look at this wanker, but I don't care. I'm on Santa Monica Pier. We're having it large, and a great night tonight for the arrivals. Tomorrow with the media workouts and the show here as well. And then of course the presser, the weigh-in, and a massive night on Saturday.
Well, Eddie Hearns, as the Americans call you, you're having beef with everyone. Beef with Terence Crawford earlier on in the week, and Jared Anderson today. Well, they've all gone in for you.
Yeah, listen, I love Jared Anderson, and I think he's brilliant for the sport. I just think he's in a really tough fight, and you know, he shook my hand reluctantly, and I said, what, do you not like the fact that I said it's a 50-50 fight? And I think he could get beat. But I said to him, if you're a special fighter, you'll win. If you're not, you won't. I don't think he really liked it, but I'm just going to be honest. Like, I don't represent either guy. I'm just giving my honest opinion as a fan, and that's all I am in that spot and that fight is a fan. I hope Jared does win because I think he's great for boxing, but we're going to find out how good he is.
Were there any other juicy bits happening? Because the music was so loud, we couldn't really tell what was being said.
I mean,
anything else?
Pitbull against Rayo, you know, that was a very steely, long stare down. I think that's such a brilliant fight as well. And Andy Ruiz against Jarrell, you know, they're pretty friendly, but they also know they're about to go to war on Saturday night. So it's just a brilliant fight card.
I bumped into Anthony Sims Jr. earlier. He was like, in fact, he's still over there. He's still here. I thought he was leaving. Yeah, I think he's interested in speaking to you. You guys, obviously, you parted ways.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I like Anthony. I think he's a great fighter. He's got great talent. It's been a long time since we've worked together, and I know his career hasn't really gone his way. Whether there's a fight out for him, you know, we've got such an extensive stable at the moment. You know, not looking to add too many fighters, but always looking at special talents.
Going back on to this card, Eddie, obviously tomorrow night they've got a free night of boxing, 3 really good fights that are happening. Is it happening on where this stage is right now?
Just there. The ring's there.
Okay. Wow.
So tomorrow, obviously, you got all the fighters working out in front of the media, and then you got Nathan Lugo, who's with George Warren and Queensbury. You got Shakram Giasov in a really tough fight, and then you got Mark Castro in a tough fight as well. So it's a brilliant concept. It's probably one we should actually look to do in the UK, but it's also very expensive. So we'll have to see.
I can't see Eddie giving free.
That's true. Yeah.
And then there's also something about a card. They're giving a card away or something.
Yeah, it's a fact. You know, they're doing a car giveaway during the night where His Excellency is going to be presenting a fan in the BMO Stadium with a car. Just wild times, and yeah, can't wait.
I think I'm going to take part in that as well, just in case. I've got to ask you. Obviously, we're out here in LA. There's so much craziness going on back home. Just a word for all, you know, the stuff that's happened in the last few days back home as well. I'm sure you sat back watching it, thinking.
You know, I think that the best way to describe it is, I spoke to my dad today and I said to him, I can't believe what happened in Southport. And he said, what? And I said, are you joking? And he's like, what happened? I said, 3 kids lost their lives, and you know, in a mass stabbing of just these young girls that were at a Taylor Swift dance class. He said, you're joking? And I just said, Dad, like, how bad is it that something like that can happen? And he, who reads the news, right, not like going through the paper every day, but like he's on social, like he hasn't even seen it. Like, we've become so desensitized to this stuff, and it's really making me sick as a parent that my kids, and you know, luckily they're 14 and 11, but the younger kids, the world that they could be being brought up in terms of our country. Like, what the fuck has happened to our country? And I just don't understand. It's like, you know, you got all these conspiracy theories out at the moment, and it's like, why are you allowing this to happen? I don't understand. Like, what normal person doesn't turn around, not today after what's happening, but 2 years ago, and gone, we need to make a change. We can't allow people to walk our streets with knives. And you know, there's a lot of talk about immigration and all this kind of stuff, and I'm not going to get into it. The fact remains, our streets need to be safe.
The laws aren't good enough, are they? Really?
But the reality is whatever the problem is, it needs to be solved. But we cannot allow in our country our streets not to be safe. We cannot allow our kids to be in a creche or in a dance class and worry and fear for their safety. It's England. It's Great Britain. It's you know, we're a country where we like, I can't understand what's happening. And I don't know why people aren't grabbing hold of the situation and making a change. It's like everybody's scared to say something. Everybody's scared to do something. Oh, we can't do that because it'll upset them, and we can't say that. And guys, come on. Like, doesn't matter from what walk of life you're from. Doesn't matter what religion you're from. Surely you have to see what's happening and know that it is wrong and it is evil and it has to stop. But who's going to do something? And it's getting worse and worse, and it's going to make people leave the country, right? I work all around the world. I don't have to be in England, but I love England. Like, I love where I come from. I love my home. I love going around my parents' house. I love, the fact that, my granddad and nan were, and they were there, and they were in the East End. And do you know what I mean? And it's like, it makes me want to leave the country. That's the best way to describe it. It makes me want to, my kids, I want them out, But I just, like, how are these people not sitting in the office, in Parliament or in a cabinet and saying, guys, enough is enough? Do you know what they are? Spineless. That's what they are. And I don't know, I don't know the answer. But they're like, you can't just say, oh, it's, there's no answer, or it's too far. No, because that's spineless as well. Make the fucking change now, because our country will go down the pan, and what will happen is it will become overrun by people who have had enough. Right?
And that's a dangerous territory, as we've seen with the riots last night.
Every day, because people are having enough. Not just, my mate, when you read a group chat, oh, my mates have had enough. Do you know what I mean? The public have had enough. And in the end, they're going to want to stand up for themselves and for their country. And once you get to that spot, it's a dangerous time. So make the change.
Like myself, you grew up in the 90s. It's scary how the world was a completely different place in the 90s.
Listen, when I was born in 1979, right? So in 1997, I started going out. 1998 into the 2000s, there was all right, you might see someone get chinned in a nightclub every now and again or whatever, but you think you could walk, I've had people come over for meetings. They walk outside their hotel in London, someone pulls a knife on them and nicks their phone. What the fuck's going on? Like, and how is it okay? I see pictures today in Southend. My kids go to Southend. There's people with machetes chasing each other down a street, the high street in Southend. Southend.
I'm going to leave it on that, but I think you kind of stole the words, and I think it's pretty much what everyone in the country is thinking. It is sad.
They haven't got the balls to do something about it. Someone's got to come in. I mean, I know it sounds a bit weird. I think it makes me want to, like, become involved in, in try. I don't know, but it's just, it baffles me. These idiots sitting in Parliament and in the government they haven't got a clue. They have not got a clue what they're doing.
Definitely so, Eddie. Appreciate your time, and we'll chat more about the show later in the week.